Hello.
Greetings, everybody.
We are back in space. And Nathan has updated his Boba data vault list because he is PQ prepping once again for this weekend's Knoxville.
Headed to Knoxville, yeah. There's a couple of other local dudes. I think one of the guys who went on the last trip will be going. But I'm actually going with a couple of other players this time that couldn't make it to Goose Creek. I'm not going to talk about the list they're playing, but I think they're kind of sickos. They're doing it to themselves.
Okay.
They're doing it to themselves.
Okay.
But I feel comfortable. So after like last week, I was like on the drive back, I was just talking about all kinds of decks. I was like, you could play Obi-Wan. There's probably a couple different flavors of Obi-Wan because I played against like 5 Tarkin Town decks all day, and it's one of those where Obi-Wan, I think, just being able to keep your units on the table would go a long way against those decks. I was strongly tempted to play Obi-Wan. However, I've got reps with Boba Fett Data Vault, and I like Boba Fett Data Vault in a vacuum. I don't know what I'm going to play against. I'm just going to sit down against something. This deck has a game plan of stick some stuff in the mid game and then win on the back of Ruthless Raiders and just hitting for like 8 to 12 damage at a time with like either a big spaceship or planetary bombardments, right? Now what I talked about how bad the Quinlan matchup was, and I talked about having a 2-hour lecture on Boba Fett versus Quinlan. And we'll make it like a soft 5 minutes. How about that?
Okay.
So what I've done, I've divided up before you on the screen some of the changes that I've made to the deck, and let me know. I'm interested to see how this testing goes. Justin actually picked out the Quinlan deck list that I lost to in the top 8. For me to play test against, so I can see how that goes. Now, those games were extremely close the way the decks were before. And actually, my game 2 was a complete and utter blowout in that. Game 1, barely lost by like 2 actions. Game 2, I crush them. Game 3, lose by like an action or 2. I have like a Devastator that can swing for lethal. Like, it's one of those where I just need like 1 hit point and I can win the game, right? So now I had in my sideboard last time. My sideboard last time was 2 Aggrieved Parliamentarians, 2 Salacious Crumbs, 3 War Juggernauts, 3 Walkers. Okay. My new sideboard plan is 3 Scanning Officers, 3 Resupplies, 2 War Juggernauts, and 2 Reinforcement Walkers. And I'll cover the sideboard changes in a second. But
so you're not playing any Parliamentarians anymore?
No Parliamentarians. Okay. I believe that the Kylo Tarkin Town deck is a cool deck, but I think I've got enough... Like, I have enough forward momentum during the course of the game to end the game or ask the Kylo deck, you get 1 shot at hitting me or you die, right? That's my belief. I don't have enough data to prove that. However, I think there was maybe 1 or 2 copies of that Kylo Tarkin Town deck in the room last week. My takeaway is if you are prepared for Boba Fett Data Vault and Quinlan, then you are prepared against a wide portion of the field. And the better your deck is against Tarkin Town, because you have like Han, Lando, and Cad running around. You've got a lot of Tarkin Town decks running around. There's even some mono red Tarkin Town, either Kylo or Sabine. Some of those are also in the field, but you got to be ready for Tarkin Town. So I have shifted the main deck with a Tarkin Town meta in mind. So what I've done is I have added 1-drops to the deck. The rationale being that I can play a 1-drop against Quinlan and it won't get Tarkin Towned, right? The Quinlan deck does not play 1-drops. They play like Daring Raid and stuff like that. But I do believe that First Order Stormtrooper is actually solid in the matchup. It's not bad. And Salacious Crumb, I think, is actually one of the most important cards that you could possibly add to this deck for a half dozen reasons. Okay? First off is the heal. If I die to Exaxes against Quinlan decks, then it stands to reason that gaining 1 hit point somewhere in the middle of a game might be enough to win me the game. Okay? The second is that the return to hand and damage a unit is synergy with the Boba Fett leader, right? I can ping a unit and then activate Boba's ability and get some extra damage in versus the opponent. And to that comment, force throwing Crumb. Crumb is force throw food, right? Cost 1. More importantly, I can play Crumb and then put him back in my hand when force throw is at its most detrimental, right? That gives me some control. I won a round versus Quinlan Tarkentown in the Swiss. And I won that game 2-1. I think I won game 1. He had like kind of an off draw, and like I won like an action before I was about to die. Game 2, I lost to, I believe, like a force throw at the wrong time. And then game 3, I had Salacious Crumb, and there was a board state where I played Crumb, put Crumb back into my hand because my hand was like a 5-drop and a 6-drop. I put Crumb back into my hand, deploy my 5-drop. Now it's protected against force throw, right? And then on the next turn, I got to play my 6-drop. Now, to piggyback off that,
how many Crumbs were you playing? You were playing one main deck?
I had 2 in the sideboard.
2 sideboard?
2 sideboard previously. I think the call is actually 3 main deck. Okay. If we suspect a force throw field, the Kylo Tarkentown deck, if I'm worried about aggrieved parliamentarians, I'd much rather just kill the opponent if I can. And that Kylo Tarkentown deck leverages force throws and pillages and stuff like that, and Crumb gives me some play against that. Now, most importantly, one of the last things that Crumb does is it gives you an underworld body for Maul. My opponent, in that game, my opponent resolved a Poe. I took initiative. I had Salacious Crumb on the board. I took initiative. Maul kills Poe, tramples for a damage, shunts all the damage to Salacious Crumb, and I essentially won the game on the spot.
Yeah, that's insane.
And so Salacious Crumb, I think, is actually insane in the deck. That's why we're moving to 3 copies of it. Dislike it, but not as much as I. So now, if we've got 1-drops, we may as well add some extra 1-drops, because I can have some draws where I could play Salacious and then the First Order Stormtrooper, and then I've got a couple extra bodies. They also, Salacious Crumb and First Order Stormtrooper, give me things to sack to power the dark side if my opponents are playing those. And even some of the heroes play Power the Dark Side because of Anakin, right? So having just little idiots that can sit around on the table is not a bad thing, right?
Did you consider playing a Vader since you had the 1-drops?
The 7-drop? No.
Okay.
It's a fair question, and the thing is that the damage from Maul is all important. Because most of the games that I played, Maul was always good. Maul was always good, and never did I think in a million years I need a Vader right here. Yeah. It was always, I need the 7 power, I need the ambush, I need the overwhelm. Because there were a lot of games where, one of the things that happens when you're playing Boba Data Vault is that your opponent's putting indirect damage. They're just sprinkling it all over their dudes. And so a lot of the ground aggro decks will just load their guys up with indirect damage to try to keep their base alive, and then Maul comes in, cleans through somebody, and punches like 6 into them, right? All right. So we had the First Order Stormtrooper, we had the Salacious Crumb, all right? We subtract the droid missile platform. Now, I'd have to go back and count, but I believe I played against only red decks. And I played against only red decks that were also packing Daring Raid.
So they just instantly answer it.
Yeah. So now I like the droid missile platform into the aforementioned Iden matchup, because that's something, if they kill, you still get your damage into it, right? How successful has Scanning Officer been? Have not tested it. That's what tonight is for. It is for Hotshot and Timely. So now the rationale is that we take Pride out of the deck and we put Scanning Officer in for the Quinlan matchup, right? Here's the thing. Pride wants initiative. What we do not want versus the Quinlan deck is initiative, right? If I have the initiative and I play Pride and my opponent plays a 2-drop and then I take initiative and they target down my Pride, then I am behind on the board. I have nothing to play, right? The only way, and I think I probably lose the game, because then they have an uncontested unit, right? And I'll cover another scenario because this actually happened to the CAD player. The CAD player, I won the option. I gave initiative to the CAD player, and the CAD player said pass. I said pass. We ended the turn. We went to 3 resources. Who came out ahead? Not the CAD player.
He still has initiative in that
CAD players got initiative on the next turn. And the CAD player is a tempo deck, right? I ended the game at like 27 health. The game 1, right? I ended the game at like 27 health, which is pretty close to dead. And imagine he's got a 2-drop that gets like an Aura Sing or something that gets like 6 damage in before it gets dealt with, right? So if the Quinlan player gets cutesy, if I say pass, Quinlan player gives me initiative. I say pass. The Quinlan player gets cutesy with the initiative and they say pass. I say pass. We move to 3 resources and I'm ahead, right? Most of the time, the Quinlan players were playing like the A-Wings or a Sabine, some sort of 3-power, something that could do 3 damage for 2 resources, right? And if a Quinlan player does that, I'm happy moving to 3 resources. Because I got through a turn, I don't have to play removal, right? Like I traded no removal for no dude. And that's amazing for me, right? Now I've gone up to 3 Knights of Ren because Knight of Ren was just good all day. It's a body that might still be on the board by the time you get to Overwhelming Barrage. And so there's a lot of times where the Knight of Ren can also soak the 3 indirect from the gorillas. And that way the gorillas don't ready, because I'm pretty sure every time I played during the day, the gorillas did 5 damage to me. Like the Quinlan player gives me the initiative. I say pass. They play something. I play something. Next turn, the Quinlan player takes initiative. Quinlan player plays gorillas. If I have got like a TIE bomber, I could dump the 3 damage in the TIE bomber. But if I played like a silencer, or I played something else on the ground or whatever it is, then the Quinlan player plays the gorilla soldiers, and I've taken like 8 damage on turn 2. So having something that I could dump damage into with the Knight of Ren. The Knight of Ren almost always soaks the Tarkin Town in the deck. Either my 2-drop or the Knight of Ren does, okay? So I'm pretty happy about that, because I do want the Tarkin Town taken out pretty early in the game, because I don't want them to like Tarkin Town like Madornian gunships or Ruthless Raiders, because that's actually like a fairly decent trade. They could crash like the A-Wing into it and then Tarkin Town it off the table. And you want a spaceship hanging around so that you can deploy Boba Fett into a vehicle. Now, I have added 2 recruits, and this is the one that I have kind of a question mark around. Is this okay? This gives me 2 more 1-drops. This also gives me something to do turn 1. If I have the initiative versus the Quinlan deck, I can just play recruit. And I can either go find a Salacious or a First Order Stormtrooper, or whatever it might be. And then what the recruits have done is they actually let me cheat on a couple of cards in the deck. So I'm cheating on Daring Raids and Open Fires. I'm down to 2 copies each as opposed to 3 of each. Open Fire is really good against the blue hero decks because it kills the 2-drops. It kills like Adi Gallia, Yaddle. Open Fire is good against their 3-drops. it's good against the 4-drops because they're playing like Kiana Mundi and stuff like that, right? Open fire is useless versus Quinlan, with the exception of Millennium Falcon. If you can find a board state where the Quinlan deck just plays the Millennium Falcon into you having no resources, or you having 3 resources open, by all means, go for it. I can't find that situation. Yeah. I don't see it, right? And it's not enough. The Quinlan decks wisely just play Cassian on 3. They'll occasionally smuggle him in, but they'll just play him as a 3/5 because he can soak a ton of damage. And so the open fire has like a bad conversion rate in the Quinlan deck. I found myself resourcing this quite a bit and honestly sideboarding it out in a couple places. Now, I don't think you want to get rid of it completely because it does. Quinlan will oftentimes soak some damage and then you can open fire and finish off Quinlan. I'm also cheating on Fang Fighters. I was always glad to have Fang Fighter in the main, so I don't want to get rid of it. However, I would often draw it and hold it for slightly too long, or not really know when to play it. I played against like a Han Tarkentown, the Han Pilot deck, and I was really glad to have the Fang Fighters then. But it is a little bit awkward to use. Finally, cheating on Devastator, and this is a questionable one because there are a lot of times where if I played Devastator, I won the game.
Yeah.
Now, I do find myself resourcing Devastator. If I draw Devastator in the open hand, it gets resourced. That's just how it is. Recruit is, however, something else I can pitch the Force Throw. And I've got a lot of silver bullety sort of cards, so Recruit gives me a way to go find some good answers. Going turn 1 Salacious Recruit and try to hit Super Laser Tech is sick because one line of the deck is to play Salacious Crumb, play the Super Laser Tech, use Salacious Crumb on the Super Laser Tech to kill it, Boba Fett them. The Super Laser Tech is now ready. You can replay Salacious Crumb, right? That's a sick turn 2.
Yeah,
you've ramped, you got some damage in, and the important thing is if we do play against these blue-green villainy control decks, is that we cannot let the Super Laser Tech be untapped while they have 5 resources, because they can No Gloria and they can Traitorous it, and that's bad news. So we need ways to kill our own Super Laser Techs, and I think a lot of people that I played against were not prepared for me to kill my own Super Laser Tech time and time again during the day. You can do it with IG-2000, you can do it with Boba Fett, there's a ton of different ways to do it. You can get creative about killing them, but the important thing is that they die in ramp, because I do think the ramp is really powerful, which is why I put resupplies in the sideboard. There's an argument that I should have resupplies some number in the main, like these resupplies could be swapped in for recruits, maybe. Because I also think the resupply is how we beat Iden, because if they're ramping, we also need to be ramping, because I need to be playing threats proportionate to the amount of resources they have. Reinforcement Walker and War Juggernaut are both like situationally just powerhouses. War Juggernaut wasn't like an amazing card all day, but War Juggernaut against like the blue-red hero decks, they didn't have clean ways to kill it. And so it was just hanging around on the ground at 7 health, and it doesn't die to Anakin. They can't, like Anakin can't just -6 and kill it. Plus it pings off a bunch of shields, and if we play against Vader or something like that, we'd love another way to ping a whole bunch of units all in one go. And then Scanning Officer is here because I played against a lot of guns and a lot of Cassians, and I feel there's another scenario against Quinlan post sideboard is me going first, playing Scanning Officer, hitting a gun or a Cassian, and tapping one of their resources, and they miss turn 1. In which case, I think I probably win, because then I have, I think it's win-win with the Scanning Officer. If I whiff, it sucks. It's not great. But if I hit, I probably win the game. If I whiff, they kill the Scanning Officer with Tarkentown, and that's probably an equivalent exchange, right? Because I don't the Scanning Officer isn't like HK-47 or Pride, where somebody who's got like there were some games I played where either one of them, like both of them, would be in the ground, and they would be a problem for an opponent.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, these 5 minutes. You said.
Okay, all right.
25 minutes later.
Yeah. I said 25 minutes.
25 minute.
Yeah, increments. Right. 25. How about it 5 minutes at a time? How about that? All right, let's get into games. I'm excited to see this in action.
In before 0202.
Yeah. I told you I'm the game 2 and 3 specialist.
Yeah.
I'm the game 2 and 3 specialist.
This was the winner of the Goose Creek PQ.
Yes, this is the list from that. So then scanning officer hit until win before way back in set 2 and it's pretty much a guaranteed win. So it's great, so great analyzing specific matches. Yeah, so that's that's like if you like the reason I love Path of Exile, the reason I love a lot of games. I love getting to the point where like 95% of the game is done, and then that optimizing that last little bit. I love that. So like just trying to optimize this matchup is fun. So
Mulligan. Dark Black, you changed the color of your name. It's freaking me out.
Okay.
It's a good color. I like it. It's just different. Oh.
Let's roll for initiative.
We did.
Did we?
Yep.
You got it?
Yep.
You want it?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Pass.
He's doing it. Recruit. All right. I had Salvage and Kylo set up at the beginning there. Basically, that's my Force Throw package. I meant to mention that. So I think between Salacious, the First Order Stormtrooper, the Recruit, the Salvage, and the Kylo Silencer, I think we're in good shape against Force Throw. That's my rationale, at least.
Take initiative. I don't have a 2-drop, so I'm all
He's throwing.
He's throwing, and there was no 2-drop, so
I'm going to play Salacious Crumb.
It's over there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Everybody that I played against at Goose Creek were always putting their ground units on this side. My apologies. So,
yeah.
Wait, did you
Huh?
Did you swap the mat on me? Is the mat swapped?
No.
Am I insane?
Yeah, you were insane.
I'm insane?
Always play ground on the right.
I'm insane?
On my right, yeah. You are insane, yes.
I have no sanity?
Correct. It's not the black man. That is different. But the black man, we also play ground on my right. I'll play Guerrilla Soldier.
I'll dump 2 into Salacious and then 1 into the Data Vault. I will send Salacious to the hand to deal 1 damage to the soldiers, and then I got this reversed. Boba Fett and hit you for 1.
I'll attack you for 2.
I will play a Knight of Ren.
I'll take initiative.
Pass.
I'll attack you for 2.
Okay. The Knight of Ren's going to attack you for 4.
I'm playing Millennium Falcon. I'm gonna Quinlan damage onto the knight.
I'm gonna open fire the Falcon.
It happened.
And then I'm gonna Boba Fett you. I had to speak it into existence.
Yeah, I'll Tarkin Town Knight.
He's toast. I'm gonna play Salacious.
Take initiative.
I had heal 1 off my base for Salacious. Alright, pass.
Take it for 2. Crum is kind of insane. Crum's kind of crazy.
He's kind of goaded in the matchup, I think. I actually, that's part of, and as this game keeps going, I think the game is going to get better like that because there's a wide variety of tools. Okay, I am we're gonna go ahead and use Salacious, bounce that back, do a damage to you.
I'll play Kira.
Okay.
Alright, Gunship, Barrage, Salacious, Salvage, Devastator. So I think it is the Gunship. The remaining Gunship.
I am going to
What's up, Azoki?
Run out Salacious.
I'll deploy Quinlan.
I will take the initiative.
I'm gonna fight Salacious.
Oh man, he's been so good.
He's gotta go. There you go.
I got crushed by Kira in game 2. The first, it was bad. It was like, I'm talking real bad. Okay. I'm gonna start by playing an IG 2000. I'll deal 1 damage to each.
Algebra 3.
I'm gonna slap Fett in here, and I will smoke Kira.
Smoked. I'll Fang fight the Boba Fett.
I am gonna play a silencer.
All gun.
Hit
Yeah,
for
5, yeah.
Okay. I'll take the initiative.
Yes.
I'm gonna OB the silencer, I think, and I'll gun down Quinlan. Oh, and then I'll Fett you.
I'll surprise strike into. Do I just go base? I'll just go base.
Okay. I think it's correct to go base.
Okay.
Anytime. Now the guy who beat me was actually fighting units with me, and I felt like the late game where like my deck is supposed to take over, I drew kind of like ass. But I also think I got hit with like a force throw at the wrong time in that game. But when he was fighting my units, I was like, oh, I think I got a chance. When the Quinlan decks were ignoring my guys and just going to base.
You're just going to play a Devastator at some point, and I need to be in a situation where I'm going to kill you before you hit me with a Devastator.
I'm going to hit you for 5.
I'll play Ahsoka.
I'll pitch Salvage. The IG 2000 is going to fight through the Fang Fighter. I'll take 3, but it will overwhelm for 2.
I'll force throw you.
I have a TIE Bomber.
I'll do 2 there.
Okay. It'll die at the end of the turn. I know it's not dead now, but I'll take initiative.
Yes.
Devastator. So the question is do I kill Ahsoka here? Or do I just do the 5 damage to your base? I know Devastator says do 4 damage, but I have Boba Fett, so I get 5 damage and it gets to go where I want it. If you do 5 damage to your base, you are at 18. However, this hand is not safe versus force throw. That's my fear. So I think I just do all 5 damage into Ahsoka there. If you have another Ahsoka, then if he's got another Ahsoka, I pitch my card. I don't have anything to be force thrown, right? So I think that's the right play. Get rid of the force unit.
They're in raid.
Okay. I will take the initiative.
Sabine. Wish I had Cassie in there, but I don't. I do have this L3.
Okay. Not nothing.
It's not nothing. Okay. Then pass.
Let's hit you for 9.
Yeah. Okay. I'll surprise strike Sabine in for 6.
Okay. I am going to maul and kill you. Maul through Sabine.
Okay.
All right. You missed a 2-drop.
Yeah.
I don't want to read too much into it. You missed a 2-drop. Maybe you get a game. But I think if you had hit your 2-drop, maybe the game's a little bit closer.
What's he bringing out against you?
I have no idea.
Spark?
I mean, Spark is good. I think this deck is slightly weak to the opponent going through your hand, right? Kira has always been bad. Ahsoka, it's a little bit easier to play around. A Bamboozle is also good. I would probably, it depends on the thing you don't. So something I think a couple of my opponents did during the day is they would bring in Bamboozles and they'd bring in some random other stuff, and I think they took units out because post board, guess what? My board at Goose Creek was 10 units, right? So I'm playing against people who are sideboarding out units, bringing in answers, and then I'm just bringing in more units. So a lot of games, in game 2 and 3, it was just me just like dude every turn, just escalating in size up the chain. And the opponent's like, answer a couple of these that are important, but then fell off down the curve. Because like if you don't have a good, like what, I mean, Bamboozle on a War Juggernaut, like, okay, sure. All right, I'm boarding in the scanning officers for sure.
Yeah, but like the only things I want to take out here are units. I think maybe Waylay.
A lot of the stuff is like come into play and do a thing.
Yeah, like I don't necessarily want to Waylay.
You don't want to Waylay like a scanning officer or anything like that, right?
Yeah,
like,
maybe Waylay's not.
All right. Now I won that game with Devastator. Funny enough, the stuff actually gave me enough time to get to Devastator to win. My original... Now, it's possible Reinforcement Walker is just better than Devastator in the matchup because Reinforcement Walker is drawing cards and also has the option to gain a life. I think I win the game with a Reinforcement Walker there instead of Devastator. So we'll try... so Pride is out. Pride is gone. For the scanning officers. Right? This is like, I can play this into an empty thing. Now, interestingly, deck lists were open knowledge in the top 8. So if you're the Quinlan player, you could know that I've got scanning officers, and you can try to like game your hand around that just a little bit. I think the Devastators, while good, and yes, it did win that last game, I think any 8-drop there would have won the game. Also, Maul probably wins the game there, because Maul punches through Ahsoka, does like 2 damage to you. So out come the Devastators for the Reinforcement Walkers, right? And then finally, 2 War Juggernauts. I just like having a big body. It doesn't die. There's not much stuff that can get force thrown, and the Quinlan deck often likes to redline its dudes against me, and so this can clean up some stuff. And it has the upside of being able to fight into Quinlan on like some future turn. That happened in a couple of the games I played. Now Maul is still good. Planetary Bombardment, I could probably shave a Planetary Bombardment for a War Juggernaut. I have to have something in play for Planetary Bombardment to be good. And it's also possible...
You're also cutting a capital ship.
Now, funny enough, the open fire was insane in that game. So maybe we keep that. Maybe we keep the Daring Raids. Maybe we cut the Daring Raids. Daring Raids are a force throw fodder. Maybe we cut 2 Planetary Bombardments if we get the... if I'm in a situation where Planetary Bombardment is winning the game, then I've probably won the... Like, I'm already winning, right?
Yeah.
And that's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about losing in the game, right? So we'll see what that looks like. Out Pride, out Devastator, out Planetary Bombardment, in War Juggernaut, Reinforcement Walker, Scanning Officer. Okay, we'll see how this feels. See what the post-board plan feels like. And I actually think the time to Scanning Officer, you might be able to punk some people on turn 2. I think top 8, the time to Scanning Officer would be on 4 resources. You hit them when they got 4 resources, you hit them, or you hit them the Quinlan deploy turn, because the Quinlan deploy turn...
You like to pick up a gun.
He likes picking up a gun. A lot of those Quinlan decks would also just smuggle out Cassie in the same turn. They'd get this 3 damage from Quinlan, they get 3 damage from Cassie, and Cassie's got a fat ass to dump a bunch of indirect damage into, right? So, okay. Yeah, I drew that opening hand last game was Recruit Salacious Crumb, and I was like, the plan is working. The plan is working. And thanks to Salacious, I was able to sandbag a force throw card like the whole game. So, okay. Six. Okay. Now resource that. I actually think disabling Fang Fighter is not great in the matchup. I think it has small upside. I just drew it in my opening hand just for people who are wondering why I'm talking about it randomly right now. But I think it's got random upside. Okay. You give me the initiative, is that correct?
Probably, right.
I think so. All right. Okay. I pass.
Okay.
Now, I had the Scanning Officer. I could try the Scanning Officer thing, the Scanning Officer play there, but I think I just pass.
So I can either play Sabine or spark you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean either is a call. All these lower drops actually give me more redundancy against Spark, because there was one game where I said pass, my opponent sparked me, and they got rid of my 2-drop, and I was like, well, take initiative.
Yeah.
So
I think I'll play Sabine, but that's a choice I would make based on a lot more questions in this matchup.
Sure.
Experience in this matchup, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You have this game.
Right.
You have one game. I have like 8 games or whatever from this past weekend. So I'll play a TIE Bomber.
I'll take initiative.
I pass. Huh. I think it has to be this.
Okay. I don't want to spark you here.
Okay. This one is really interesting. So I've got Super Laser Tech, Scanning Officer, Daring Raid, and the Dornian.
I mean, I'm leaning towards Super Laser Tech.
I think it has to be Tech.
It's got to be Tech, yeah.
I think it has to be Tech. All right, so I am going to TIE Bomber you. You saw the Daring Raid, so you know not to take... I mean, unless you want Sabine dead.
I do not. I'll take 3 on the base.
And then I'll fet you.
I'll take you for 3.
Okay. I will Scanning Officer the Bro. The gun is gone.
Just gets replaced, right?
Yep.
Discarded?
Yep.
Alright, I'll take initiative.
Okay, so I think I hold the Daring Raid here. I could play it. I don't think it matters. Daring Raid is like a way to trigger Boba Fett on the next turn, so I'll pass. Well, we gotta resource something. Also, Daring Raid is good against Force Throw. And also good against Ahsoka. If Ahsoka's here, then I can pitch the Daring Raid to that.
Thank you for 3.
Okay. All right. I am going to send the... I don't know, do we YOLO it? Take a shot in the dark? Well, Scanning Officer, and we'll see if he resourced. Oh! Oh! Woo!
Like how?
They call him Two Gun Justin for a reason. All right, we're gonna bomber 3 indirect, a 4th indirect.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Doesn't just get this shuffle his resources first? You just choose resources?
Reveal 3 enemy resources. So no. Post game, I'm gonna be like pretty.
Like you know where the things are.
Yeah. Post game. Yeah. It doesn't say like the opponent gets to shuffle,
Justin
right?
can shuffle resources.
I think by the rules he is allowed. Okay, that's fine. Well,
okay.
I grabbed
so
3
it's
at random.
It's essentially random.
Yeah. All right. I mean, it was a 3. It's not 25% chance to miss, right?
You're allowed at any time.
They changed that rule. Okay.
Okay.
You can't just shuffle when choices are being made. I see. Okay. So he could shuffle. Like if I play Scanning Officer, can he shuffle? If I like put Scanning Officer, this is important to know. I need to know this because I'll have the rules lawyer people at the PQ.
Yes.
Yes, he can. So I play Scanning Officer. He, in response, randomizes his cards. Okay. That's fine. That's all I need to know. All right. This is your base.
I'll take initiative.
Pat, did you have a 4-drop to play that turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I'll play Quinlan.
Okay. I think I have to just Dornian, so I'll get 2 indirect damage, and then I'll Boba for an indirect.
Put 2 on Quinlan. 1 on the base.
Yeah, Kira, Ahsoka, and Ahsoka.
Play Ahsoka.
I suppose I pitch this Knight of Ren. You got 1 open for a reason. He'll get to exhaust something. Not much I can do about that. Okay, what are you exhausting?
I'll exhaust I'll exhaust the bomber, actually.
Sure. All right, we're gonna send the scanning officer into I think it's Sabine. So what that does is that puts Sabine 1 away from dead for a Boba deploy. So I can Boba deploy, kill 2 units.
I will force through. You.
I have a daring raid.
I'll kill that.
Okay. All right, this scanning officer, we go base, or do I attack into like Cassian, or do I attack into Ahsoka? Because then I could. There's like an argument to attack into Ahsoka, because then the Boba Fett deploy can kill Ahsoka Sabine. And if you're going to smuggle in Cassian from the resource row, he's still hanging around, right? The 2 damage to your base gets you to 11. Boba Fett. Now, I'm not expecting Boba Fett necessarily to hit on the next turn. If I deploy Boba into the Dornian, I'm not expecting it to make it all the way through to the attack step. But I could attack with the Dornian first, then deploy Boba, clean up some stuff, right? I think I put the scanning officer into Ahsoka. If I rip a overwhelming barrage, right?
Here for 3.
All right, I will take initiative.
Here for 3.
Yep.
Here for 3.
Okay.
Target down the bomber.
Yeah.
That is the damage.
It should be at 15, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. And pass.
Because you got like 9 in there. I think it was at 6. So draw, disaster. I guess I play that there. All right. So, all right. Take the 4 damage. Get you to 13. Downside of the 1 drops, I drew a 1 drop on this turn, right? If that was like a droid missile platform or something else, that might feel a little bit better. All right, attack you for 4. Put you to 13. You got 3 cards in hand. Basically, no chance of not having a Bamboozle or a Fang Fighter. Whoever you attack with, I can kill 2 other units. Well, no, that's incorrect. You could attack with Sabine. But I do get to mop some of the stuff up. You're at 15. The guns are gone. I wouldn't be shocked if Justin has a 3rd one.
2 guns are gone.
Yeah, and they're all gone. That means Justin's got a gun. I probably smuggled or like put a gun into play after blowing up one. 6 damage puts me 11. I think I have to do this. I'll play this into here. I'll smoke Ahsoka and Sabine. I think getting rid of 6 damage is too powerful.
I'll Fang Fighter.
Sure.
The Boba.
I will attack you for 4.
I'll attack you for 3.
I'm going to play a Silencer.
I'll attack you for 3.
I will take the initiative.
Falcon. Held you for 3.
Yep. I think that's correct. Any room for stay on target? No, yes. I don't think. It's not a bad necessarily call, but I don't think. Okay. Looking at 9. Pay to keep the Falcon around.
I guess I missed some Quinlan damage last turn, right? The Fang Fighter could do a damage there. No, it's less than.
It's gotta be less than.
So the Falcon could do a damage there,
though. Okay. I am going to maul. I maul over Cassian. It's 4 damage. Puts you to 17. If I maul through, I think I have to maul through Cassian, because then I get 4 damage, putting you at a 17.
I'll play Sabine and Quinlan Ping.
Sure.
TIE Fighter.
I am gonna kill the Falcon.
I could trade. I could do.
I have to kill the Falcon because you've got lethal on board, right? So
I could trade.
You could trade, swing, go for the surprise strike, something like that, right?
That's true. I can't let Maul live. It doesn't kill me,
but it's
damn close.
Yeah,
it is damn close. It's a little too close.
Also, overwhelming barrage, I think, wipes your board, right?
Yeah, true.
It's 9 damage, 5, 8. Not quite wipes the board, but if you're 1 hit away from dead, then the Fett can pick you off. So I don't know what the call here is.
I think it's trade.
Okay.
And attack you for 3.
Okay.
And pass.
Okay. I'm gonna grenade strike the Fang Fighter and do 1 indirect to you.
I guess I can take that on speed. I will hit you. I will force throw you.
It's a Knight of Ren. I will hit you for 4. I think that was a punt.
You know it was a punt?
Well, maybe not. I don't know. You need a way to kill the Gadornian now. Unless you got the Falcon or a Surprise Strike. Or a Cassian. I guess you have a lot of outs. Right? You need 6 damage.
Yeah, I don't have any of that stuff.
None of it? Maybe they don't have it. Now, to be fair, I think if you had had a Cassian, depending on which part of the game you had the Cassian, it would have been hit with that thing. Hit for 3. Put me at 30. I live because of Data Vault and I take initiative.
You for 3. You take initiative?
Yeah.
Play Guerrilla Soldier.
I guess this dies.
Yeah.
And I try to rip something.
Yeah. Okay, then pass.
I ripped nothing. All right. Game three. That's been my experience with this matchup. Did I have a Salacious anywhere in that game?
No Salacious.
My theory of the game is a Salacious is a 1 game versus Quinlan.
No Salacious.
No Salacious. I can't take 2 because I die, right? I can't put it all. So-called game 2. I'm sorry, false advertising. Time for Planetary Bombardment.
Planetary would have been really good.
Yeah, it would have won. Would have won there, right?
Yeah.
Though I think if I played a War Juggernaut when Justin had like 7 dudes on the table, also probably pretty good. Because the War Juggernaut, like Justin, I think has to trade with the War Juggernaut because the War Juggernaut would be cracking into him for like 8 or something. There were a lot of units on the table. There's actually a surprisingly large number of units on the table for 2 decks that deal as much damage as these, right? Like as much indirect. So,
and splashy damage.
The Juggernaut would have been disgusting because I would have done 1 damage to everything, and then the Boba deploy I think kills 3 units, right? The Sabine would.
So you still got a Juggernaut on the table.
Yeah, and then I got a Juggernaut. I didn't see War Juggernaut in that game, so I wouldn't have seen the Planetary Bombardments, right? Because I took out 2. I still have 1 Planetary Bombardment. Planetary Bombardment there would have won the game. A Maul would have won the game. A Planetary Bombardment would have won the game. A Devastator would have won the game, but I sideboarded those out. I think I lose with a Reinforcement Walker, so that is a data point. Maybe you keep both maybe you keep the Devastators because if my opponent is exactly 4 away, and I can play it. If I rip a Salvage, right, and I have something that I can play from the yard that deals damage.
Mulligan. We probably ain't gonna have time for the Xanagan matchup.
No, that's fine. I mean, I think this was very informative for me. I hope it was very informative for everybody watching.
I think so.
Okay, so I have to ask, would I keep this hand? So I would give you the initiative for sure. Would I keep this hand? I think the answer is yes. And then we have to play as if cards in my hand are going to get stripped at any moment. So I have to, if I mulligan, I'm not guaranteed to have some redundancy. I have critical redundancy in case of an action 1 Spark of Rebellion here, right?
All right, I'll play Sabine.
All right, I will play TIE Bomber.
I'll take initiative.
I will pass.
Take your 3.
All right, I am going to Scanning Officer. Nothing. Okay.
You get nothing. Play your red 5.
I am going to TIE Bomber, and you'll end up taking a total of 4 indirect damage.
I'll take initiative.
I'm going to play a First Order Stormtrooper, and then I will pass.
Can we take a moment to appreciate just getting double Scanning Officer last game and still pulling it out? I would like to take that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. This is my stream.
Okay. I agree with that. Man. The choices. All right, I'm going to play Kira.
Okay. Dornian Force Choke Recruit. This is where I think Recruit is very good. If he had an Ahsoka, I could pitch the Recruit. And nothing happens, right? He can. Yeah, I think Recruit here.
I'll go with Force Choke.
Okay, so all right, I am. Since he hit since he hit Force Choke, I can recruit for a 3-drop, right? And I'm in good shape. All right, so we're going to send the First Order Stormtrooper in. He's got to attack, and then I'm going to do an indirect to you with his attack, and then I'm going to do an indirect to you with a Fett's attack.
Okay.
And actually, I think I hold the Fett. I indirect with the First Order Stormtrooper, but I don't use the Boba Fett here. Because if I recruit into SLT, I want the ability to play it and then kill it with the TIE Bomber. Now, it's possible it's correct to just leave this. Actually, I think it's correct to leave the SLT on the table. I think it's a little cute to kill my own SLT. The SLT is somebody who can fight into something on the ground, right? May as well leave it around. It's not. I don't have to worry about change of heart. That's not happening. Yeah, we're getting too cute. Getting too cute.
Don't overthink. Yeah, you're right. I'll take your base for 3.
I am going to TIE Bomber you for 3 indirect damage.
I'll take your base for 3.
Okay. I am going to recruit. I wish there was something that could ambush here that I could get. There's like an argument for the 4-1 ambush fighter, right? The over blah 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 escort or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You can just pick any card in the game to pick from at any time.
Yeah.
It's like Hearthstone where you will discover.
Yeah,
it's like that.
All right, so we actually have a juicy hand. This is a juicy recruit worth talking about. We've got a Salacious Crumb. We've got a Fett's Fire Spray. We've got an IG-2000. We also have a War Juggernaut. There's a lot of good stuff here. I think it's the Salacious because I actually have the mana for it. And I've got a Dornian in hand, and so I'm probably playing the Dornian on the next turn. Salacious gets me a life point. Last game would have been critical. All right, so I'll put the Salacious into my hand.
Okay.
And then these 4 go on the bottom. Now, Planetary Bombardment's gone. Won't see it this game. It's at the very bottom of the deck. The Juggernaut would have been tempting. And then I also think IG-2000 would have been pretty good because it would have just been a bunch of damage. So
I'll take initiative.
All right, we're going to play Salacious. We'll gain a life. And then the Scanning Officer. Because you've got red 5, I am incentivized not to trade with any of your stuff. I'll hit you for 2. And then I am going to pass. Incredible draw. Now, SLT would have been sick because I could have set up a Boba Fett deploy this turn. But I think Salacious is actually a pretty solid consolation prize.
Yeah, I have to fight a Salacious Crumb.
You will take 1.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Salacious eating. He healed for 4 damage. 1 mana, 4 damage. Pretty good. Now, this does lead me to believe that you possibly have a Force Throw in your hand, but you don't have any Force Throw targets yet. So we're going to have the First Order Stormtrooper attack your base for 2, and I'm going to do 1 indirect while on attack. And then I'm going to Fett you for an extra indirect.
Play Guerrilla Soldier.
Dump 3 damage where? Base is tempting. But I think the correct answer is TIE Bomber. And then I think I attack you with the TIE Bomber and do 3 indirect to you. Loading them up.
Yep. No, I feel like I can't take any more damage.
Yeah. I think that's the reason the First Order Stormtrooper is so cracked. You feel like you can never attack it, right? Because you're like, I need that 3 damage in the base. I don't need 3 damage to just deal with the thing, right? Now maybe you deploy Quinlan there,
right?
And then when you deploy the guerrilla soldiers, you can smoke the First Order Stormtrooper with the Quinlan ping, and then you also have 7 health from Quinlan that you can dunk the stuff in. But I also think you're trying to kill some of my stuff as well. So
fight the scanning officer.
Okay. All right. I am going to Dornian you for 2 more indirect damage.
Take 2.
Yep.
Deploy Quinlan.
I will take the initiative.
Force throw you.
I will discard a force choke.
I do 2 to the Dornian.
Okay. I have the initiative, so
I'll
you can clean up space by attacking the bomber, red 5 into the Dornian, then Tarkin Town the Dornian.
Yeah. I could also attack your base. But I got plans for all this stuff. Okay. I'll fight the bomber.
Okay.
And 2 damage to the Dornian.
Sure.
I'll Tarkin Town the Dornian. I'll Daring Raid the trooper.
All right, you'll take 1 indirect damage.
And I'll attack you for 3. And pass.
I am going to grenade strike. We'll kill Sabine and Kira, and then I'm going to Boba Fett you for an indirect.
Take it there. Take it 2.
I will deploy Boba to the ground.
I'll find my Plo Koon. Doesn't even do damage to him.
Nah. Doesn't quite kill.
I will gun. Attack for 5.
I'm gonna attack you for 4.
Attack for 3.
I'll play a silencer.
Take initiative.
Pass.
Wait.
Attack you for 4.
Yeah, Daring Raid there.
I do not.
Oh. I'll fight Boba Fett.
I'm going to play Fett's Fire Spray and do 2 indirect to you. Nope. It's right there. We point to the Quinlan.
Well, I'm dead. The Fire Spray. I can play this Deepa. Kill Quinlan or kill Boba.
If you had another gun there, you could have gunned me.
I could do that, right?
Yeah.
Fight.
Yeah.
Hit you for 5, but then I'm dead.
Then die.
There, so the turn where I killed all the stuff, if I attacked the trooper with Quinlan and saved Daring Raid, or I could have saved Tarkentown that turn because I could have Daring Raided the Dornian.
Yeah.
And attacked the trooper.
So I think the thing about this matchup is that it requires like nearly perfect play on the part of the Quinlan player. And whereas the Boba Fett player is like, I need to protect myself against X number of targets, and then I just play shit.
I mean, every decision I make is like all the decisions where I'm putting indirect damage is really important.
Yes. So that to me,
over like them the decisions.
So the thing is like after a match was over, I was like, I don't think there's anything on my part that I really need to examine. But like anytime I played against my opponents, they were just kind of like, okay, let me.
And that's why Quinlan's so strong in a good player's hands.
Yes,
dude. As someone who knows all the matchups, I'm not really a Quinlan player. I've played this deck like.
So how do we feel about the changes? I actually think
Salacious was huge.
Salacious is huge. I mean, Salacious, you attacked Salacious Crumb in that game, right?
Attack Salacious Crumb because I grow a soldier is my plan.
And if I just dump all the damage on Salacious,
So yes, I could have played Quinlan first. I guess I could have deployed Quinlan and then played Gorilla Soldier, but I had to get rid of Salacious so that Gorilla Soldier wasn't just like soak 2 on Salacious, you return your hand. And then you're like playing and shit all the rest of the game. And you could kill shit with 1 HP. Salacious could not live. It was he had to go.
Salacious has gotta go.
Yeah. He literally had to go.
It's good to know that he does tilt the matchup in my favor, right?
I think so.
Like he does a lot of work. Jury's still out.
He saved 3 damage because he didn't have Sabine attack, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He gained a life
and 3 damage attack.
Yeah, so he gained 4. So
the planetary was just it was sided out, right?
And that deck feels low, but I think that's flavor, not a must. So if I had a planetary, then I probably win that game.
Yeah, planetary is getting sided out, not necessarily the way to go. Maybe?
So it's possible we keep the planetary in and we find something else.
I think at any point,
so I don't think
killing all my stuff.
So Ruthless Raider, I didn't draw it in any of those games, and this is a Data Vault deck. I can't complain if I don't see a card in like 4 games. That's entirely feasible. Recruit can help me search for it and stuff like that. Game 2, if I had ripped a Devastator, I would have won, and a Reinforcement Walker would not have won, right? So maybe the Reinforcement Walkers aren't necessarily the call versus Quinlan. Devastator might be good enough. Now, Reinforcement Walker was insane versus the blue-red decks because you play the Reinforcement Walker. If you're close to dead, then you're not. But if you Reinforcement Walker draw a card, if they don't fell the Dragonet immediately and then you get a swing with it and you draw another card, like I'll tell you, one game I played against somebody, he played an Anakin to like blank my Fett for a turn or something like that. It gives us 4 HP. So he doesn't. We only have the 4 HP if we play Salacious, right?
Yeah.
We have to play him.
And you're like, the extra 10 cards are good, especially for like the recruit package and being able to fit Salacious in the list at all.
So the resupply is in the board starting, because game 1 against aggro, I genuinely think if you resupply, you die. That is my belief. It has been my firm belief for a while. You play resupply into Kazuda, you play resupply into like that Vonreg deck, you play resupply and you are not affecting the board, you have lost the game. That's my belief. I think you resupply it, you bring it in for the matchups where it's good. I actually don't even really love resupply in the blue-red hero matchups. It may sound crazy, maybe I am crazy, but I would much rather be presenting a wide variety of threats. I think Knight of Ren on 3 is really good into those blue-red hero decks. because there's a very high chance it's still sticking around. The Knight of Ren can kill their two. They can kill a 2/4, and then it can kill Kiadi or a 3-drop, right? And Knight of Ren's mixing it up, and Knight of Ren is a perfectly acceptable overwhelming barrage target, which is why he is in the main times 3
didn't any overwhelming barrages that game, did you?
I did not, no.
Yeah,
no.
No, you didn't, I guess.
I didn't.
It was like one Kylo's tie silencer that one game.
Game 1. It was game 1, I believe. So
no,
sorry, we went long.
Blame Nathan for talking about the deck for 25 minutes.
Yeah, I would like to play it because I'm not sold. I don't hate Salacious into the Anakin deck because once again it's a if we're using Salacious for anti-force throw tech, then he's still there as anti-force throw tech versus any decks that might have it. So sorry about that. But yeah, I do like the changes. Whereas before, the matchup felt like so I'd missed on Scanning Officer that game. I think if Scanning Officer hit something, now granted, if you got hit with it twice, you probably play
again.
You're gonna play a little bit differently.
I also didn't see any
smuggles.
Smuggle things. Yeah, I didn't have Anakin. Or I didn't have Cassie in that game or a gun till later.
So there you go. That's the amendments to the deck. Pretty satisfied with the way it plays now. I do not miss the droid missile platform. It is a solid card. I just think it is not
a daring raid on any number of those games.
Now, if I play like Iden 6 games in a row,
right,
I'll be like, well, okay, fair enough. But I actually think Salacious Crumb's got game versus Iden because it's Power of the Dark Side fodder.
Yeah.
And you can always put it back in your hand, like like if you sniff out a super laser blast, you just put it back in your hand. Before they super laser you.
And they can't just like drop an Avenger or whatever your next play is. Yeah.
How do you feel the mirror? So the mirror is actually why I put resupplies in the sideboard, because I do think ramping is good in the mirror because I think the deck is just so efficient at murdering stuff. I happen to think that the Knight of Ren is also probably pretty good in the mirror because it's a fat body that comes out early and is putting pressure on the opponent. And doesn't trade cleanly.
It can soak indirect.
Soak some indirect if we need to somewhere in there. I think the War Juggernauts and the Resupply Walkers, because I think the mirror you just go late, right? Like I think you just go straight. You're going straight to the end game. And Salacious is good in the mirror. I suspect that if you lose the initiative, you sideboard out the Prides because he's only good if you have the initiative. So you sideboard him out for the game you don't have initiative. You sideboard him in for the game you do have initiative, which is like some advanced. Like I think a lot of people want to just like sideboard and forget and play the next 2 games. But I actually think you have to aggressively sideboard Pride. You have to aggressively sideboard him when he's not going to be good. So, Knight of Ren, a 4/4 for 3 that is not unique, so useful, and yes, a great OB target. Yes, absolutely. He kicks ass. You can have the thing about Knight of Ren. If you go turn 2, play Knight of Ren. Turn 3, play Knight of Ren. Daring Raid or whatever, right? Or Salacious or First Order Stormtrooper. Like if you play that curve into the mirror, and they like resupply, then you probably are just beating them down.
Yeah.
Right? You're just bringing a big old beat down on them. And then because I don't think you can kill 2 Knights of Ren. I think the big thing in the mirror is to not damage your units. You just got to put all the damage onto your base. I think that's why Salacious is really good in the mirror because he heals damage on your base. Plus, you can put 2 damage into him from indirect sources, then put them back in your hand and reset them. Right? So
Salacious the best unit in the game.
I think it's actually crazy. Friend. I think it's crazy in the meta. Now, my perception of the meta might be warped by Goose Creek. Goose Creek was a lot of Boba Fett data vaults, and it was a lot of Quinlan Tarkin Towns.
Those are the 2 top decks right now.
Yeah, and the Quinlan Tarkin Town decks I didn't play, or the decks I played against that weren't Quinlan Tarkin Town, were like Cad Tarkin Town and Han 4 Tarkin Town. So clearly, units that can soak damage and can reset the damage on them are probably pretty good. And plus, if my opponent Tarkin Town's a Salacious,
is it time to bring back Rose? Rose into the meta?
No, I think Obi-Wan. I think that is insane. Obi-Wan's really good.
But Rose can heal too.
Boba and Quinlan have surged the past 2 weeks. So yeah, so I think they're both good. I think they're decks that are both good into the Talzines and the Tarkin Towns, and they're also. I actually think Boba is slightly advantaged versus the blue-red hero decks. The blue-red hero decks have to fight you. Like in some of the play testing, I was winning games despite my opponent playing like a turn 1 Owen, right? And Owen's crazy because Owen has restore and 3 health, right? So Owen is like gain anywhere from 5 to 7 to 9 life in a game, plus draw you a card when he eventually dies. And I was still winning games, right? So.
Yep, but we'll be back on Sunday with the Nathan tournament report.
Yeah. Provided I'm conscious, because I am feeling that I am not 20 anymore.
You can't just be.
These road warrior weekends. I'm feeling them.
Old
I am not 20 anymore.
And
so.
we have a party after that stream on Sunday, so you better be.
I gotta bring my. I'm gonna have the Slurms McKinsey.
You gotta get
like
some cocaine or something.
I'm real tired of partying, dudes.
Yeah. Like literally 5:30 p.m. Nathan. Come on.
I'm real tired of partying, dudes.
All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. This is a fun stream.
Yeah, I know Justin and I play a lot of goofy decks, but I promise you we're actually pretty good at this game. This format here, where we like do a deep dive on a matchup and talk about what's going on and like some tech stuff like that. This is that 5% optimization stuff that I crave from a game. So
yeah.
So
good luck to Nathan. Thanks for watching, y'all. We'll see you Sunday to celebrate Nathan's victory. Goodbye.
See ya.